Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. There we go. Oh, how's everyone doing tonight? Or this afternoon? Or morning? Wherever you may be. How is everyone doing? Hopefully everyone's doing well. You're having a great day so far, or you've had a great day so far. Or hopefully you will have a good day. Alright, well, we're going to jump straight into it, because we've got a lot of work to do this evening. So, let's get into it. So, on Sunday, we were doing the final touches on the random dungeon generation, and finally got it to the point where I think it's working. And yeah, finally, this event right here is what's doing all the generation. So, a few passes, a few checks. There could still be potentially issues, which we will hopefully find in our testing as we're going through. If there's going to be issues, hopefully we'll find them while testing, and hopefully whatever bugs there may be don't make it into the final product. But let's just quickly go through that. Actually, really quick. So on Sunday, I had, so after we finished everything, all right, full disclosure, I didn't think that I would actually be able to get the random gen working. I honestly did not. So I did not actually create dedicated variables for the whole random generation thing. So we were just using random variables that we were already using other places in the game. And now that it's actually working, I had to go back through and redo all the variables. But I finally got them all in place yesterday, so did that off stream so you wouldn't have to so you wouldn't have to sit through it again. So we tried that once. We did it on stream, and it was broken. It was buggy. It was broken, which was very frustrating because a lot of these I just went in here and I had changed which variable it was pointing to, right? But on page 5, it was not so easy. So I had to come in here and edit the actual JavaScript and where it was pointing to the variables. Not a good time. Not a good time. Anyway, so we did that on stream Sunday, and then it just bugged out like crazy. So I decided to just scrap the whole thing, start from fresh, and now we have it all good to go. So let's take a look at the random gen, and fingers crossed it doesn't break. It may break. Because last time I tested it off stream several times, and it was fine. And then as soon as I got on stream, I started trying to test it, and nothing. It broke. I think I was on the second try. So, okay, so generates the dungeon. This goes through, maps out the actual pathing you can go. As soon as it fills in all the rest of these, it flashes, and we're good to go. Eventually, there won't be the flash. The flash is just to let me know it's done. You're good to go. So yeah, and then there we go. You've got this whole dungeon that you can explore, go around, yada yada yada. I keep, every time it generates, I want to actually look through the whole thing and make sure you can actually travel everywhere. So on the off chance it ever breaks, I want to make sure. Because as soon as it doesn't work once, we don't have to scrap it, but we have to rework it. So, yeah, so that's where we are. So, generates the whole dungeon. It's a new layout every single time. This goes through, maps it all out, and yeah, it's a good time. At least it is now that it's working. Because up until now, it's a terrible time. Absolutely terrible. Very frustrating, actually. Okay. Well. Happy day. Okay. We're good to go. So, at this point, we now just need to actually get it implemented in the game. So, let's come over here. Trello. Tie in new RTG system. Yes, let's work on that. So, right now, the way we're doing this, let's come over here to the test dungeon. Well, we'll go to the intro map. So right now, what is happening? Thank you. Right now, when you start the game, right, it pulls up the intro map, yada, yada, yada. You can pick your person. Okay, fine, whatever. And then it just picks a random number right now between 1 and 3, because that's the only dungeons I had made so far. And it puts you in this random dungeon. Not randomly generated, just a random dungeon that I've created. And we need to make it so that it actually pulls up the dungeon that is randomly generated. So, how are we going to do this? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's see what we got here. Oh, back to the events. Okay, so right here, floor numbers 1 through 3. I don't think we need to utilize this anymore, because this is just picking which floor it's going to be. So randomly between 1 and 3, and then the plan was as I added more floors, I would just increase this number by 1 every time. The reason why we're not doing that anymore is because to create just one floor, I've got to change all of this, which is about an hour. It's about an hour's worth of time, which doesn't sound like much, right? It's like, oh, well, you can make a whole level in 1 hour. That's not that bad. Yeah, but I want to make hundreds, if not 1,000 floors so that you rarely, if ever, see the same floor twice. So we start taking that into account. You're like, okay, cool. That would be hundreds of hours that I would have to spend. I'm not sending this off to a team or something like that to work on. Like if I had multiple people working on this, then yeah, we could spend an hour each day, and in a month we'd have tons of floors. But I am one man who is doing this part-time, and yeah, so we're gonna do not that, and we are going to find out what we're gonna do here. Okay, so this is picking the floor, which we don't need that anymore. I think we can just cut that. Because then over here, card draws, skip saving throws, player damage, dice move. Spawn/move dungeon. Yes. Okay. So this is what's actually calling those common events to spawn the dungeon, which is great, fantastic, absolutely incredible. But we're not going to need this anymore. So let's get rid of these guys. Let's actually even just get rid of this guy. There we go. There we go. I'm almost wondering. So here's the problem. Load times. Load times of the random dungeon gen are not great. I was trying to find ways to make them faster. Couldn't really work it out. And so right now, so let me just pull up a stopwatch really quick here. All right, so I'm gonna time how long it takes to spawn a dungeon. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. So from start to finish until it actually flashes. Ooh, 13 seconds. 13 and a half seconds to spawn a dungeon. And if we were to press F5 and try it again, because the thing is with random gen, it could take even longer than that if just things don't work out quite right. So, I don't want people, when they click to enter the dungeon, to have to sit for 17 and a half seconds this time. I don't want people to have to sit and wait that long and be like, this is supposed to be a very lightweight and simple game, and so no one should be waiting for 13 seconds or 17 seconds or however long it's going to take to load. No one should be waiting that long for the dungeon to load. So here's kind of what I'm thinking. So with RPG Maker, there are common events. These common events can be run from anywhere, any map at any time. They can be running, they can be called on. So what I'm kind of thinking we do, as you can see, I already have a common event here called Random Dungeon Generation. This is not something that I just put in off stream. This is something that I put in before I even started streaming this project, because I was like, well, if I'm going to make a dungeon crawler, I want to make it so it's a randomly generated dungeon. And I could never figure it out. So here this thing has sat. So I think we're going to utilize Common Event 3. Yes. So the reason why I want to use a common event is I don't want the player having to sit and wait for the dungeon to generate, right? So the idea is I'll just be copying these passes. So pass 1 and pass 2. We can skip over the show layout because we don't actually need to show the dungeon until we're actually there, right? Pass 3, part 1, pass 3, part 2. And then we can skip over this as well, because it's showing, this is the actual showing the snake going through. And then so we just need this. So we need to show passes 1, 2, and 3, part 1 and 2. And then eventually just show everything. So let's see if we can get that to work. Here's what we're gonna do. I think we should just copy all of this. We're going to say in here, RTG, so we know that it's the updated one. Paste that in there. There we go. Okay, let's do this. We're going to do a comment. Fairwinkling, welcome to the stream. Love the dance. Really brings some good energy, some good vibes up in here. I appreciate it. All right, let's do that. We're going to do pass 1. The reason why I do these equals signs is just because they're thicker than dashes, and it just makes it easier to see. That's about it. Just makes it easier to see. So let's do that. Just to make it, because I want to be very distinct in my, this is the end of this section, right? So let's do that. There we go. Pass 1. Perfect. Now we know. Okay, so this is the start of pass 1. We come down here. So we don't need the RTG pass progress anymore. We shouldn't. Or I just had an idea to potentially make the random generation work much faster. What are we working on? We're working on implementing the random dungeon generation into the game now. So I think at this point we can give it the green light. We can say it is done. So if I pull this up, you can see it spawns the dungeon. The snake goes through and spawns the path of the dungeon that the player can follow. It's a little slow, little time consuming. We were actually timing it just a little bit ago, and it's slow. It is very slow. Yeah, so not great. But anyway, there we go. Random dungeon generated, fantastic. We can refresh it and it'll... Sorry about that. I just feel like I punched you guys in the face when I hit my microphone. Yeah, random dungeon every time, fantastic, incredible. Every time I've tested so far being the key word here, the key 2 words, being the key part of what I've just said is the so far part. So far, everything has been great. But yeah, every time I've come through, every room is connected, you're good to go. So I think, knock on wood, I think we're good to go. So yes, so we're basically just copying the code that we have in this event where we've set up the test. I mean, it's functional now, but still technically the test. So yeah, so we're just copying that code, putting it into a common event. So for anyone who doesn't know, with RPG Maker, there is a thing called a common event. Really quick rundown. Common events can be run globally. So it doesn't matter what map the player is on or anything like that. It can run this anywhere. It can be called on via like a direct call, like a direct reference, or you can have it trigger by a switch. So if a switch turns on, it triggers the common event. So I want to put it in here because the load times for the map, well, the generation types of the map they're kind of abysmal. Like, this is supposed to be a very lightweight, old game, right? Old feeling game, and nobody wants to sit for, I think when we were timing it, the first time was like 13.5 seconds, the next time was 17.5 seconds. No one wants to sit for 17.5 seconds while their little dungeon generates. So the idea is I will put it in this common event. That way, even when you just like first start the game, right? You start the game, it takes you to the main menu. This is technically the main menu right now, but eventually we'll make a better main menu. You're on the main menu right here. You wouldn't even know, but it would be spawning the dungeon in the background as you're going through and you're like, oh, that guy looks cool. And yeah, then you'd hit confirm and you'd go in. I think I've broken it right now to the point where if I click confirm, it won't actually spawn a dungeon, which is intentional because I broke it intentionally. We're going to replace it. Anyway, yes, so the whole idea is it will be loading the dungeon in the background while you're in the main menu or while you're doing that kind of stuff, right? Then you'll load into the dungeon or the tomb. You'll go throughout the whole thing, explore everything, kill the monsters, collect the dice, all that fun stuff. And then basically as soon as you leave the dungeon or the tomb, when you're on the level select screen, when you're in the safe room, like wherever you are, as soon as you leave, it can start spawning the next one. That way, there shouldn't be really any load times because it'll just all work in the background, doing its thing. Should be great. I hope. We're going to see. We're going to see if it's good. If not, we'll figure something else out. Okay, so over here, random tomb generation. So we do need all of this stuff. We do not need to show this picture though. Let's get that out of here. We do not want to be resetting all the variables. That is a bad time. We only want to be resetting variables. Actually, I need to test this really quick because the last time that I did this, when I only reset specific variables, it broke for some reason, which it shouldn't. So really, I should only be resetting variables 365 through 378. 365 through 378. I should only be resetting those because those should be the only variables being affected by this. Let's see what happens. Just gonna make sure it doesn't break. What? This is what it did that last time. I don't know what it's relying on, variable-wise. Okay. Oh, I guess we also do need to reset the room layouts though, huh? Yeah, that would do it. That would do it. Okay, that actually kind of makes sense. Control variables. Okay, and then we need to reset room. So 101 through 340. 101 through 340. Okay, that might have actually been it. There we go. Okay, all right, okay. That actually does make sense. Okay, cool. So, let's copy that. Then over here, delete that. Okay, so we're resetting those variables because those are the only variables being affected by the random generation. Number of rooms, 40. All of this stuff. Good, great, fantastic. Okay. And then it loops this. Okay. All right. Now the idea, before I started talking about what we were now working on, if you remember right, I kind of went like, oh, that's because I had a thought. So I was going to get rid of this variable here, the RTG past progress, because that variable is the only thing it does is it changes this event page. So every time the variable goes up, it goes to the next page, right? And I was like, well, we don't need to do that anymore because we're going to put everything in this common event. But what we can do, I think, don't quote me on this. What we can do is if we do loop, because if you remember from Sunday, I think it was Sunday when I was talking about this, RPG Maker has a function called a loop function, which basically just acts as anything within this loop. It goes from top to bottom, and as soon as it hits repeat above, it goes straight back up top and it repeats, which is great. Fantastic. Loops are great. For some reason, when things are inside of loops, they just seem to process like 10 times faster. I don't know why. I really wish I did, but I don't. But anyway, so the thought is, if I have all of the code, every single little bit of code for this random dungeon generation in a loop, I wonder if I will be able to have it just process everything super fast. That's the thought. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. So we're going to loop this. And then the idea is we will do conditional branch if the variable 370, what was it? Past progress. If you are equal to 1. So we're basically kind of in a roundabout way, that is going to act as the event page. If it's equal to 1, it'll do stuff in here. Yes, I think that'll work well enough. So then we can come down here and say conditional branch. If you are equal to 2, yes, you're equal to no. We're gonna put you as 0 because nothing will have added to this variable yet, so it'll start as 0. So if you're 0, this is the first thing you do. Fantastic. Then, if you are equal to 1, this is the second thing you do. So this is pass 2. Jesse, hello. Welcome back to the stream. Glad you could be here. We are working on implementing the all the random gen stuff that we've been working on for the past couple weeks. I think we finally have it good enough to go, so I'm implementing that so that we can hopefully have working random gen in the game. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Loki, welcome as well. Glad you could be here. We got the whole crew tonight. Fantastic. Brings a smile to my face. I am genuinely so happy every time I see you all here. Like, can I just say that? Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. It makes wanting to keep creating so much easier. to know that people actually want to see the creation. So I appreciate it. Anyway, okay, so here we go. Yes, pass 2. Okay, let's come in here. Let's grab the contents of this page. This is to check if it is not blocking. Grab that loop, and let's come in here. We're pass 2. Paste that. Okay. There we go. And I think we shouldn't really have to change a whole lot about this, because this is already all set up to, as it finishes these passes, it adds 1 to this variable. And then if we're using the same variables to kind of separate this common event, I started reading general settings, and so I was going to say general event, this common event, then I think it should function basically the exact same. I think. All right, so then down here, let's do conditional branch. Variable, not switch. If you are equal to 2, that means you are pass 3. What the freak am I doing with my life? We want to change to pass 3. Okay. Pass 3. Just for kicks and giggles, because I want to make sure this is actually still generating properly, I am going to continue to actually show the images. But we are going to delete these later, because we don't need to show the images. Showing the images will happen when you load into the tomb itself. Yes. Just says, aw, thanks. You're a chill dude, and it's fun to watch you work. Thank you. I appreciate that. I try to keep it chill. Try to enjoy myself while we're here. Glad it doesn't go unnoticed. So, thank you. Okay, so this is to show those images. So I think what we should be able to do here, it will... I think that should be fine. Pretty sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new map. Just going to copy this one, delete these events. All we want to check and see is auto run this, and we're going to call common event RTG. Then this can just self switch, A is on, and then turn itself on. Cool. So if this common event is actually working, as I think it should spawn the beginning of the dungeon. It's not going to spawn the pathing, but at least the beginning. Let's also, at the very end, after it gets out of the loop, I'm going to have it flash the screen, so I want to make sure it's actually exiting the event. We're going to flash it green. Green for good. Okay, so it spawns it. That's good. It's not breaking out of these loops, though. So what if I put... Am I going to have to put another loop on the very last one? Do I need to, like, break loop, break loop? Maybe? Nope. Okay. Guess I would probably need to do... Let's try this, because I think the labels supersede the loops. So if instead of break loop, we say jump to label, end. End is down there. Hey, there we go. Okay, yes. So the labels supersede the loops. Fantastic. Good to know. All right. Perfect. We don't need to jump to label yet, though. That's for in a little bit. That is for in a little bit. Basically, let's just copy... I guess we can just copy that, paste it in there. Yeah. Okay, then if you are at 3... Actually, this is not past 3. This is... show 1. Showing the images for the first time, which eventually we will be deleting. For now, doing it. Okay, and then pass. Oh, sorry. Pass 3. You're equal to 3. Okay, save that. Let's come over here. So this is this guy. So this is pass 1, part 1. Yes. Pass 3, part 1. I'm gonna have to have a couple more things where I jump around. I'm gonna show in just a second why. So this up here, this is pass. I'll just call it pass 4. Might as well. Okay, and let's get rid of all of that stuff over here. And this is the big one. Ugh, I hope this common event can hold all of the code we're going to be putting in here. It's gonna be a lot. Bam! Holy smokes. And now you can see why we need these much larger passes, because when you have this much code that you're trying to scroll through quickly, you want to see a bit better of where these passes are. So pass 3, pass 4. So this is where we may need another what's it called? The labels. Being able to jump to the labels. Because the way we're handling this right now. So in this event, when you're here, this is the actual snake going through, right? But there is a certain contingency, and that is the snake's health, the path carver's health. Which basically, the way it works, if you remember from last time, as it's moving around the dungeon, if it ever backtracks onto itself or another path carver's trail, it reduces its health by 1. And then once its health is reduced by 25, then it despawns path carver, goes back to this page, spawns a new one, and then switches back to this. So I think what we need to do is down here, instead of doing this, so this right now, this sets it back to that. Instead of doing that, we're going to say jump to loop, spawn path carver. Is it just me? Like, I don't know why. I like, for some reason, maybe it's just me. I feel like path carver sounds like a kind of cool name for like a boss. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird, but I hear like path carver and I'm like, I just imagine like this giant snake you have to kill. Okay. So I think that's the only spot where it goes back to spawning a new path. So jump to label, spawn path carver, and we'll scroll back up here to that show 1. This is pass 3. We're gonna jump into here. Label spawn path carver. I also just realized we will still need to change that variable, actually. So let's set that to 3. Because here in this loop, it is, it's relying on that variable. You have to be equal to 4 to come in here. Yes, okay. All right, that should be good. So become 4. Fantastic. Pass 4. I think that should be all that we need, because then this is in its own loop where it's moving the snake. These are all the different directions. Great doorway, right directions. This is the last one. And then check if any other rooms have an ID of 100 starts. This checks. This is just checking to see. Okay, so then if that's the case, then all we need to do is at this point say, don't add, well, for now add 2, but then we're also going to say Jump to label. Show dungeon. Ish. So it adds 2. And then does show dungeon. Do we need to have it still show 2? I don't think so. No, just 1. Add 1. And the reason for that is I'm going to, with this one, since we're not going to be actually showing the path carver going through, I'm just going to have it do its thing. It's just going to show it all completed. Show. This is if ever... Okay, so if ever there is a room still at 100, it means it's not done generating, so it will break out of this loop. But if all the rooms are generated, and if the path carver's health is equal to 25, which means it is finished moving. No, that's fine. That's fine. RTG, pass progress, +1, jump to show dungeon. We do not want to exit event processing. That would be bad. And then break loop. Okay. Check all rooms, +1. Okay. And if 25, path carver has moved X spaces, despawn. Okay. Path carver health equals 0. Path progress equals 3. Jump to spawn path carver. Else RTG pass progress +1. Okay, so here's, I think it's here. Yes, I think this was switching the page. So I think we need to get rid of this actually. Because there's a spot in the code here where as it's going through this, it goes all the way through. It checks rooms, yada, yada, yada. 375. So this goes back to spawning. 375 +1 would take it here. Yes, okay, so we need to get rid of that +1 because every time it does that, it's trying to show how the snake is carving its path, which we do not need anymore. We don't need that. So we can turn off that. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So that should be good there. So then let's come down. Pass 2. That's show 1. So we're going to have show 2. Pass 3. Pass 4. Repeat above. So let's go in here. This is going to be show 2. This is if you're equal to 4. I think pass 4. Was pass 4 4? That's a weird thing to say. Pass 4 is 4. Okay. So you are if you are equal to 5. I'm going to do show 2. Let's delete all of that. Come over here. Yes. Let's copy that. Okay. Down here under show 2, we are not going to flash here. Don't need to know that. This is just showing all of this stuff, which all of that should be the exact same. And then we shouldn't have to worry about this pass progress +1. We are just going to jump to label, end. Okay. Then jumps to end, flashes the screen, calls it good. Okay, so let's come over here. I think as long as all that works, we should get a dungeon and it should flash screen hopefully quickly because it's all in a loop, but I guess we'll see. Okay, so we're still getting the same thing here as the last time we tested, but nothing more. Curious. Very curious. 375 is equal to 3.8 million. What the? Why are you equal to 3.8 million? Okay. Okay, just to give you an example though, I'm going to give you an example of how quickly Ooh. Okay. After this, I just want to... I'm going to do something. After this. It's going to be an exciting treat. Check with variables how fast looping works. We're going to actually mathematically figure out exactly how much faster looping is compared to non-looping. Okay, but that is neither here nor there. This is what we need to be worried about. Okay, so you're equal to 0. When it gets down here, it adds 1. You're equal to 1. 375. Add 1. You're equal to 2. Add 1. Break the loop. 3. Add 1. Four. I think it's going to be somewhere in here. Towards the bottom of this one. Because this past 4 is the most complicated. Does all of this. Loop. I guess we could also add after show dungeon, do break loop. I mean, I thought that superseded it, but maybe we still need to have break loop in there. So it adds 1 to RTG past progress. If the path carver's health is equal to 25, which we're adding to the health. We're basically treating his health like you would golf. So, man, I keep hitting my microphone. I am so sorry. The higher the health gets, once it hits a certain number, then it's gone, not necessarily 0. Okay. So past progress plus 1. So this is if you have actually finished. So all the rooms are spawned. Plus 1. So you would now be equal to 5. Not. And check if other rooms. Okay. And then if path carver's health. No, that should be. Well. Yeah, because this is taking into account. So if there's ever a room that is equal to 100, which means it hasn't been pathed yet, then break this loop. And then repeat above, which will then go all the way back up to here. No, we'll go up to here. Okay, that is exactly what we want. If you're equal to 5. Okay. I guess we'll also add a break loop here. Yeah, I think it's just doing the same thing again. 375. It's equal to 3. Oh. Okay, well now it's getting stuck on 3. Check all rooms 61. So does that mean it's getting to show 2? What if we flash the screen? Oh, purple. We'll flash it purple if it gets to 5. Well, of course it's not getting to 5. It literally said it was at 3. So we have to figure out why it's not getting past. Is it just not getting past 3 at all? Let's come down here to show 2. On pass 4. Are you getting into pass 4 at all? Yes. Okay. But is getting into here. But something in pass 4 is breaking. And what is breaking? I don't know. But it obviously is doing something. Let's do this. We're gonna put that back. Right as it flashes. What have we got? So everything should be at 100, right? All the rooms that are spawned are equal to 100. Fan-freaking-tastic. Wait until that goes away. Okay. Are any of these changed? Ooh, some of them are. Some. Okay. I guess we'll let that flash a few more times. Okay, so that was it finishing. So it finished spawning the directions, the pathing. Let's come down here to 375. You are still at 3. Why have you gone back to 3? Okay, so 3 is the one that's now... Okay, so it's getting through all of this. All of pass 4, it's getting through. But then why at the end is it going back to pass 3? So this is where it's getting stuck. And the reason it's getting stuck here is because you can see there's a loop here. It tells it to spawn a path carver between rooms 1 and 60. But then it checks and it's like, but if the room you spawned in has already been pathed, basically, if it hasn't been pathed, then you can proceed. If not, you can't. So it's coming back here and then getting stuck. But why? That is the question. Let's see. What would be... So it's either... There's two things, right? There's two things. It's either reducing a variable, because every single one of these passes are within an if statement. So if this variable is equal to 3, it's doing this. So it's either reducing the variable, so it goes back to 3 versus the 4 section it's in, or it's jumping back to spawn path carver. So let's find out why though. So down here at the bottom, check if any other rooms have ID equaling 100. So this guy right here, this loop, this is checking to see if every single room has been set properly, right? Does every room have a path? Does every room have a doorway? So if any room doesn't, it breaks this loop. It's like, nope, you didn't, so you're out of here. But if it goes through and every single room is pathed, then it checks to see if you are equal to 61. So check to see if it's gone through all 60 rooms. Okay. Let's just say... No, we're going to leave that at 61. We'll leave it there for now. I think I can do greater than 60. And I think that'll make it less confusing. So if you are greater than 60, then do this. And so long as the path carver health is equal to 25, so which means the last one is spawned and it's run its course and it's good to go. Then, control variables, RTG pass, add 1, jump to show dungeon, call it good. Let's check something. This should be triggering when it finishes the dungeon. I got rid of this other flash, right? Okay, I did. Okay. So it is getting into here, which should be adding 1 to the progress, jumping to label, show dungeon, and breaking the loop. What if... Jump to label, show dungeon. Show dungeon. Wait. Where is show dungeon? I wish you could search, but I don't know.
Thanks for the follow,
What?
Sozman.
Oh my goodness. Sozman! Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Glad you could be here. So I was jumping to a label. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. We're all glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. Everyone, say hello. We're a very friendly community here. Very tight-knit. So, welcome. We welcome you with open arms. Sozman says, I used to mess around with RPG Maker all the time back in the day. Yeah. I feel like I probably should have moved on from it by now, but I haven't. I'm still going at it. Yeah, it's a fun little engine. I enjoy it. It's a good time. Not so much when you're trying to do the types of things that I'm trying to do with it, but it's fun when it works. So, I don't know how long you've been here or how much you've seen, but yeah, we're working on some random dungeon generation, and yeah, it's a good time. No man, I still have my RM2K3 game on my PC. It's awesome. Nice. Yeah, oh wait. You have the program still on your computer, or you've got a finished game? 'Cause if you've got a finished RM2K3 game on your computer, that's impressive. I still have yet to meet anyone who's actually finished creating an RM2K3 game. But I do love that engine. That is a fantastic engine. I also have it installed. I pull this up. RPG Maker 2003. There we go. Look at that. A whole 6.5 hours used. Of course, that's just on Steam. Had it for many years before Steam. Okay, so I thought, did I not actually create? So I've got these labels, right? Spawn path carver. Oof. And then I also have this label to jump to label show dungeon. But I don't think I actually ever created the label to show dungeon, which should be right here, show dungeon. So let's do this. Let's say label show dungeon. There we go. I have the program and the game. It wasn't completed, but I still have all of it, and it's the basis of something I plan to work on in the future. That's awesome. Yeah, the fact that you still have it is absolutely fantastic. I know that for myself, I cannot, for the life of me, bring myself to ever delete any of my projects, even though some of them are absolute garbage and should probably be deleted. But I always tell myself, I'm like, I'm going to come back to this one day. I'm going to finish this one day, and one day I will. So don't ever give up. I am sure that you will get around to it, and when you do, I want to hear all about it. I want to see this project you're working on and see what's going on. Yeah, exactly. One day it's gonna happen. Hey, as long as you tell yourself one day, then you technically haven't told yourself never. So there's a weird random not at all inspirational quote. Anyway, it's hit and miss with the inspiration here. Sometimes I'll feel inspirational, but I don't feel like that wasn't very inspirational. Anyway, okay, so label show dungeon. I think that should fix that. Let's see if it breaks out of that loop. Ooh, baby. Okay. All right, everyone. All right, everyone. May I have your attention, please? I need everyone's attention. Everyone's attention on me. I just want to show you how much faster, I have talked about loops in RPG Maker a few times now, right? I just want to show you how much faster all of this code runs just because I have it in a loop. Okay? I'm going to show you. So if we come over here, right? this is the original test for generating the dungeon. I'm going to pull up my stopwatch again, right? Got my stopwatch. It's at 0. Okay. We are going to hit start as soon as I pull this up, and I'm going to show you how long it takes to spawn the dungeon without being in a loop. So, you ready? Here we go. Save. Starts. All right, here we go. It's spawning. Yada, yada, yada. The snake is going through. Slowly but surely. Taking its sweet time. As soon as it flashes. There we go. 13.9 seconds. So almost 14 seconds to generate that dungeon, right? I didn't change any code. None at all. I basically, quite literally, came to this page, grabbed it all, came over here to the common event, pasted it. Went back into this event, went to page 2, copied this, came back over here. But because all of this stuff is just in this loop, right? It's just a little loop in RPG Maker. I do loop, put everything in here, and I'm going to show you how much faster it spawns. You ready? I'm going to, so 13.9 seconds. Let's grab this. We're gonna hit save. All right, here we go. We ready? We ready to see how fast this goes? I'm gonna hit test play, start. Wait, I forgot to switch to the other map. That was anticlimactic. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, we got 0 on the clock. All right, we ready? Here we go. With looping on, we're going to hit test play. I'm going to hit save. We're gonna hit start, stop. There we go. It spawned. Pretty sure it was faster than 0.33 seconds because I can only move so fast because I'm an old man. But yeah. You want to see it again? I'll hit F5. Done. I'll hit F5 again. Done. Like, I do not understand. I don't understand in RPG Maker when you put something in a loop, it just flies off the shelf in speed. I don't understand it. It is 0 to 1 billion in half a second, and it's just like, why? Couldn't tell you. Couldn't in a million years tell you why just putting something in a loop makes it go by so fast. But it does. Anyway, there's my weird thing for today. If you're using RPG Maker to do long, complex things like generating a 60-room randomly generated dungeon, put it in a loop, and it'll spawn in a fraction of a second instead of the 13.9 seconds. So, there you go. What were you doing before looping? Before looping, I just had it built out in an event, right? And so in the events, I am utilizing loops, right? So you can see there's a loop here. On this page down here, there's a loop here. There's a loop here. The main purpose for the loops that I use them for is like, say for example, this guy right here, right? So when it starts this event page, it's parallel process, which parallel process is slightly faster than auto run. That's another one that I don't understand. But in parallel process, I loop it because it is assigning a variable, checking specific parameters about that variable, and then if that parameter is met, break the loop, go to the next page. If it's not, do it again. So that's the main reason for using the loops, is you want to loop this code until X equals Y, right? And then it moves to the next page, and the next page, and the next page. But just the fact, I don't know. Like literally, it is the exact same code. Nothing changed. It's just not having to move between pages, and everything is in a loop versus just most things in a loop. But technically, if the event trigger is set to parallel process, once it reaches the end of the event page, it tells it to go back to the beginning, right? So it will loop through this page continuously on a parallel process, you know, until something tells it to get off of this page, right? Which is why at the very end, I have this blank page, because once it's equal to 7, which means it's processed the whole thing, it's done. So yeah, I mean, I was technically having it loop the code. I just don't have it inside of RPG Maker's loop function. And for some reason, that makes it take 13 to, I think the second time we tested it was like 17 or 18 seconds. So anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds to generate a dungeon, or the exact same code, all of this is running like this. Done. 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 It's crazy. I don't understand it. So anyway, on the bright side, I don't think we actually need to worry about having this spawn before, like, well before the player enters the dungeon. Because I was thinking, well, based on when we had this old method, I was like, okay, well, if it's going to take 10, 15, 20 seconds to spawn the dungeon like this, I'm like, okay, well, we're going to need to have this load when the player's not sitting here waiting for the dungeon to actually load. So the player's doing other things while the dungeon is spawning, right? And we don't need to worry about that anymore because it's still going. It's there we go. Because that is now this. Done. 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 So anyway, so we don't need to worry about that anymore. We can just have it so that when the player goes into the dungeon, it generates a map, and there we go. Got a map. Fantastic. Okay, well, you learn something new every day. You learn something new. All right, so let's get rid of that flash. We do not need that anymore. Just says, I suspect the loop does something like not stopping the frame from progressing where other parallel processes do. The main difference between auto run and parallel, by the way, is an auto run freezes other processes like player input and can run if the map changes, but parallel runs with other events going and input. That is true. Yes, yes. That is definitely the big difference between auto run and parallel. The parallel process does make it so that the event can be doing its thing off in the side, while the player and other events can be doing other things. That is 100% true. I have noticed, though, that parallel process starts faster because auto run has to wait for other conditions on a map to finish, whereas parallel process doesn't. I don't know why, but it does. So it's very, very bizarre. But yeah, so if I come over, I'm just gonna grab this off of this map really quick. So if I come over here, I'm just really quick example, just so everyone can kind of have a visual, right? So if I do auto run and we say tint the screen to black, for some reason, 1 frame is the fastest you can do it. So I will just say, hey, auto run, tint the screen to black. So that is set to an auto run process. If we test play, bad example. Am I? Okay, I know for a fact. It's probably because I have just stripped so much of the RPG Maker engine out of this project that it's not doing this. Anyway, usually if you're trying to hide the screen when a map is loading, you would have to do parallel process instead of auto run because there's like 1 frame where it would show. Anyway, that was a terrible example. We're just gonna move on and pretend that never happened. I don't know what you guys are talking about. What? Me trying to show something off and it failed? No, that doesn't happen. Anyway, yes, and also Jesse, I believe you are probably right. The loop is not having to get to the very end and be told however many milliseconds it takes for it to then say, all right, go back to the top and start again. It probably just bypasses that for some reason, somehow. Oh, that's what we were gonna do. Yes. I know it's a weird thing to have on the to-do list, but we're just gonna do this really quick. We're gonna check how much faster variables count up in a loop versus not in a loop. So over here, because I'm just feeling really weird tonight, we're going to parallel process and we're going to control variables. We're just gonna add to, I don't know, this variable, 30, add 1. And then over here, we're going to just copy and paste it, literally the exact same, and we're going to loop and put that in there. 31. really quickly, I'm going to come over here. Okay. Just says, be right back. Gotta go walk the doggo. Good luck. Hopefully that goes well for you. Yeah, it's cold out there, so try not to die. Way too cold for me. Okay, we're gonna create a new text box just because I'm, again, feeling weird and I just want to kind of see how fast it actually is. So game variables.value 30. There we go. We will center it, I guess. Width of 300. All right, so that is going to be the non-looping. Going to clone, put the looping here, 31. Okay, and then we're gonna come back over here. Okay, so just parallel process, no looping. It is adding to variable 30, so the top variable. And then the exact same thing, parallel process, adding to variable 31, but it's in a loop. Let's just see how much faster it actually counts. Oh! Look at how much faster it's going. Holy crap! Holy crap! So the parallel process counted up to 490. The looping parallel process counted up to, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16,133,497. Huh. Yeah, the looping is processing outside the frame and the parallel one is once per frame. Okay, yes. Good luck. Yeah, that's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. Oh my gosh. Much faster. Much faster. How would you calculate that? It'd be like someone who's smarter than me with numbers. I don't even know. Anyway, that is much faster. Much faster. Okay, back to what we were doing. Let's just say in here, it's very fast. There we go. That was a success. There we go. We figured it out. It is much faster. Okay, so we are still tying in the new RTG system, but we're getting close. So if we come over here to the test dungeon, let's come over here to the intro map first, actually. Test dungeon. So in here, what we're gonna do, let's copy this. RTG show. This is going to let me know that this is the RTG that's actually showing the dungeons, because we do not need that anymore. What we need is, so we got pass 1, pass 2, show 1. We do not need. Let's get rid of that one. You are going to be 2. Pass 3, pass 4 is 3. And then down here, we need to say set you to 2, not 3 anymore. And then show dungeon. We don't need that. Ooh, keep hitting the microphone. I don't know why. It's really bad tonight. We don't need this. Let's get rid of that. And then we just need to jump to end. Where do we end? In here. RTG pass +1. So be right here. Okay. So that we don't want to jump to show dungeon. We want to jump to end, break the loop. It ends. Fantastic. Okay. So then over here in the test dungeon, show picture that. Okay. What we do is we will then say common event RTG. So that will spawn the dungeon. We'll randomly generate a dungeon. Ooh, and then at the end, yes. This will actually be fantastic. So at the end, we can then say RTG show. Let's do this. You are RTG all, and then you are RTG show. Okay, let's get rid of pass 1 and pass 2. We're gonna keep show 1, which is if you are equal to 0. Actually, no, we don't need that anymore. Because we can literally just, yeah, we can literally just paste that, get rid of that loop, get rid of end, and then this is just show layout. We don't need you to be if you're equal to 0, because we can just, yeah. Set RTG current snake location to 1. And then loop. So this is where it will loop. So it will. We do still need. Well, no, because this should set everything accordingly. Right. We do need to change this though. The room pick ID is not correct. What pictures do we have? So map is 50 through 92. And fog is 71 through 90. Crap. Oh, that's right. We don't need the fog anymore. Yes. So, okay, that had me worried there for a second. So we don't need the fog anymore. So the fog was an event in here, dungeon fog. So it was basically the way that the fog was working. So that as you explored the dungeon, it would reveal the dungeon, right? And the way it would work is if we come over here, we go images, pictures, map. So this was originally the maps, right? It was just, it looked like that, or that, or that. And you would, the way I would have you explore it is it would show this whole picture and then would take 20 other pictures to cover up all of these tiles. And then we did some weird stuff to make it so that the hiding of them would flip and do weird things so that it was only showing the ones that you had actually explored, and very weird stuff. It was too much stuff. So we don't need to do that. What we need to do, we actually don't need show anymore, because we don't want to show the whole dungeon. We want it to show as you are exploring. So let's delete. We're gonna keep that for now. RTG. RTG, we're just gonna call this spawn. RTG spawn. This is not 1. This is going to be 50. Yes, 50. So we're starting at image 50. Right here, pictures. The map image layers are 50 through 92. So on here, 50. Starts at 50. Cool. Fantastic. And then what we need to do is we now need to have it be as the player is walking around the dungeon, it is showing. So we actually don't need this at all. What we need to do Okay, so how's the fog working? So first thing it does is it shows all the fog. Turns on fog spawned. Turn on A. A is on, do that. Transition and player location. Yeah. Look at all this freaking weirdness that we were doing to get the fog to work. Absolutely terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So what we're gonna do is we are going to cut this variable. Yep, we're gonna cut the variable. And I'm cutting it because I don't want to delete it yet. Because I'm weird that way. Again, I am so bad at just deleting things. Because here's the thing, I'm not actually gonna need to use it. I should just delete it. But I can't bring myself to. This was so much freaking work. We'll get rid of it eventually. Okay, this one is going to be called Revealing Rooms. Yeah. How did this one work? This one was if transition was on. Okay, so when transition turns on, that should be easy enough. So conditional branch, if the switch 11 transition is on, we're going to parallel process, and then we need to show the picture. Let's grab you. So we're going to be showing the picture based on some different variables, a whole bunch of different variables. Welcome back. Glad you're back. Hopefully it wasn't too absolutely freezing cold. Like I know that it actually is. So how are we going to figure these variables? Well, what were we doing before? So we're setting room pick ID, room X, room Y, picture X start, picture Y start. It's all of these variables, right? Yes. Come over here, set that. But we need to do this based off of the player's X and the player's Y. I keep and generate heat well, so it was okay for me, but snow makes my dog a hyper 75-pound goblin. Well, yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Yeah, my brother-in-law's dog, she goes absolutely insane in the snow. So, yeah, 75 pounds. Whew. That's a big dog. That is a big dog. What kind of dog do you have? I don't think I've actually ever asked, even though you've said multiple times that you've taken your dog out for weeks. Big dumb puppy full of energy. That's the funnest kind of dog. But the most fun. Funnest isn't a word. Most fun kind of dog. Golden Lab, he's about 3 years old. Nice. Yeah, labs are a lot of fun. Crazy. Shed a lot, but they're fun. They're a good time. That's awesome. Man, 75 pounds at 3 years old. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, I guess. All right. That's not too far-fetched. I was like, holy crap, that is a huge puppy. I mean, that is a big puppy. But I guess for a Golden Lab, that's, I guess, fairly spot on. Okay, so we can't just set the room pick ID to equal 50. What other variables are we working with here? So we've got, come down here. We have, let's see, that's player stats, saving throws, monster, fog. We can get rid of that block too soon. Okay, so we have player X, player Y, player location, and then we have the layouts. Okay. So here's something we need to do. We need to spawn the player. So in here, item spawn, min, monster spawn max, layouts, player location. Okay, so in RTG spawn, yes, in RTG spawn, we need to spawn the player, we need to spawn the exit. We call it sigil right now, but we may replace sigil with something else. So in here, pass 1. Let's do its own loop. We're going to say set player location to a random number between 1 and 60. And then we're going to check and see, is 97 plus 100 times 4 greater than 0. So basically saying, is there a room there? If it's greater than 0. If it is, then we can break the loop. Easy enough. Comment, set player spawn. Okay, and then we'll have another loop, and this is set exit spawn. This is going to set, so it's not player location. Where was sigil? Starting sigil room 36. Okay, so RTG 36. Set 36 to a random number between 1 and 60. And then it's going to do 2 checks this time. So first it's going to say, first check is checking to see if there is a room there. There is. Then it's also going to check and see if game variables 36 is equal to, nope, we're going to say if it is not equal to variable, was it 100? Is that the player's location? 100? Yes, player's location. Okay, so this is all it's doing is just saying place the exit somewhere in the dungeon. First thing it checks is, okay, wherever you put it, is there an actual room there? If so, then check to see, is the exit in the same room as the player? No, is the exit not in the same room as the player? So if it ever tries to put the exit in an empty room, or just a room that's not there, or if it's trying to put the exit in the room with the player, then it doesn't do anything. But as long as it's not doing either of those things, breaks the loop, calls it good. Player is spawned, exit is spawned, good to go. Okay, I think that should be good. I think that's enough. If we come in here, oh yeah, we can get rid of those variables. Hide everything else. Delete and delete. Okay, so if we come over here, confirm, it should spawn us in here. Now 36 should put us starting sigil room. Did not. Why is that the case? RTG spawn. Confirm. Should. Are all the rooms spawned? None of the rooms have spawned. Okay. I'm a freaking idiot. I'm trying to spawn the player into a dungeon that hasn't even spawned yet. You... I'm so stupid. Okay. Why am I so stupid? Holy crap. Okay. When it jumps to end, then it can spawn the player and the exit. Wow. Okay. Oh my gosh, I completely missed your message. Jesse, you said, honestly, we pretty much have a zoo, so I can't keep track of what pets I have and haven't told people about. No, you're totally fine. So you've got a lot of pets then, hey? Sounds like a good time. Well, some people. I am not a huge animal person. I'm fine with them at other people's houses. We've got a cat, and she can be a little frustrating sometimes. I will say that. Okay, so spawn the whole dungeon. Fantastic. I like animals, but my wife adores them. That is a great and or terrible combination, depending on the type of person you are. I mean, I guess if it's you like them and she loves them, then more power to you. Yeah, I like animals. They're a lot of work, and I don't know. I'm like, I never grew up with a pet, so in my mind, I'm always just like, there's just so much work. Why would you get a pet? But I can completely understand why people would want pets. I mean, like, you know, when our cat isn't being absolutely crazy, she is adorable. It's just all the other, yeah, currently screaming. Exactly. Yes. It's all the other times where our cat just bolts around the house at 3 a.m. or sits outside our door at 4 a.m. and meows because the automatic feeder hasn't gone off yet or something like that. So anyway, yeah. But my wife, she absolutely loves cats. Pretty sure if it was up to her, we'd have like 20. Okay, and then the player's starting room. Oh, no, that's the starting sigil room is in room 45. The player is spawned in room 9. Fantastic. Let's refresh this. Just want to make sure it worked again. There we go. We got 36. Sigil room is room 19, and the player spawned in room 48. Fantastic. Okay, now the player can actually spawn anywhere in the dungeon. The exit can spawn anywhere in the dungeon. That feels really good. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Great question. That is a fantastic question, actually. So right now, come over here. I believe this is all being handled in here. So you got the loop right here. Oh man. Okay, there's a lot of stuff I'm gonna need to probably copy and paste from here. But let's see what my old process was and see what we actually need from this. Okay, creating exit sigil. I believe that's just this. Because all this is saying, starting sigil room equals 1 through 60. So it's picking a random room. And then if that variable is greater than 0, okay, so we're doing that already. And so long as it's not in the same as the player, so that's exactly what we're doing now. Then 906 sigil in room X equals starting sigil room. Okay, well, I don't think we need to worry about that anymore because variable 36 is dedicated to the exit or the sigil room. So I don't think we need to do that anymore. Now, what we are doing is game variables set value 98 plus 4 times 906 minus 1. 99 plus 4 times 906 minus 1. What? Okay, let's try. Let's read through this, see if we can figure it out. Okay, so we are saying set variable. Let's do this in a let's do this in a calculator so we can get this figured out. Okay, so we do 4 times, so the variable 906. So 906 is the sigil room. So if we're saying the sigil is in room 1, so it is 4 plus 98, which is 102. What variable is 102? 102 is room 1 monster. Okay. So this is just saying wherever the exit is, don't spawn a monster and don't spawn items. Okay, I get it. Okay, so we do need this. But what we need to do over here in RTG spawn, after all of that, we're then going to say, so that's the loop. Let's put this here. Comment. Don't spawn things in exit room. Okay, we're saying 98 plus 4 times, not 906 though, it's just 36, 36, 36. This is commented out, but we don't need this anymore. And then 920 plus 906 minus 1. What is 920? Variable 920. 920 is blank. Why is it blank? Oh no, why is it blank? I don't know what it's meant for. Crap. Well, I don't know what 920 was for, but we're just gonna delete it, I guess. Okay, there we go. Yes, don't spawn things in exit room. I think we also may need to not spawn things in the room where the player is starting, which is handled here. But we can't have that anymore because we are no longer specifically placing the player. The game is randomly choosing where the player goes. So let's come back over here to the RTG spawn, copy this and paste it, and basically we'll just say don't spawn things in spawn room. This is going to be based on the variable player location. We are utilizing that variable, right? Loop. Yes, it's down here. Set player spawn. 100. Okay. We will say 98 plus 4 times variable 100's value. So those all to -1. We could... I was thinking we could just do the first one. So basically it goes, the first line is monster, second line is item 1, third line is item 2. We could make it so you could have items spawn in the spawn room, but for now, we'll just call that good. Okay, what else do we need? Setting the current room layout, monster, item, yada, yada, yada. So we do need those. So that's 93 through 96. Okay. We need to do it in a much more variable way. Let's grab this. So we're going to say set spawn room config to current room config. Okay, so this is saying to set, so we need, was it 97? We need room 1 layout. So room 1 layout, and then we go back 1, 2, 3, 4. 97, yes. That makes sense. Okay, So just say, let's delete all of that. So set 97 plus 4 times 100. Game variables set value. Oh, wait. That is not what we want. No, that is not what we want. So we want to set game variables set value. What variable was it again? We need current room. Current room layout, 93. Yes, 93 through 96. Set 93 to equal game variables dot value. Oof, that was rough. Okay, game variables dot set value to equal game variables dot value 97 plus 4 times game variables value 100. Yes. How many parentheses do we have? We got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we can get rid of those. Fantastic. So you are your own thing, which is what we need. You are your own thing. You are your own thing. Perfect. So that is just setting variable 93's value to whatever the current room plus 97. I know it looks and sounds very weird, but that is what we gotta do. Okay, so then we're going to do set variable 94 to equal 98. Nope, 98 plus 4 times that. 99. 95. And last but not least, oh my gosh, come on. We set 96 to equal 100 plus 4 times. I just want to make sure that is correct, right? So if we go variable 100, then it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, so that is changing the layout monster item 1 and item 2s. Yes. Okay, cool. So that is setting the spawn room config to current room config. That is incorrect. This is setting current room config to spawn room config. That is what we want. So that way it doesn't matter where the player spawns in the dungeon, it will set the current room to be that. Awesome. Okay. What is next? Over here we had... That was this stuff. We already did that. And then the players X and Y. Okay, so this is where we will actually show the map where the player is and all that fun stuff. Yes. We got that through that. Show pictures. 37 room. Ooh, okay, we're taking care of that in here. It'll be all right. Show picture, fog. New room is on, spawn dungeon is on. Okay. Let's come over here to RTG spawn. Down here at the bottom. And then I'm going to do this. So the player's X and player Y. So this is where we need this. I think I'm handling this in the move event. When you press down, checks a whole bunch of stuff. Player location is greater than 7. Okay. Okay. So that was all just going off of... Okay, so we weren't actually adjusting the player's X and Y position in the dungeon. That's fine. that is fine. So we're just going to do that ourselves. It's fine. So let's grab that. Let's come back over here on the RTG spawn. Got all of this. Okay. So how are we going to adjust these variables? 1088, 424. We do not need those anymore. I mean, we have those variables, so we might as well use them. So we've got player X and player Y, which is where the pictures start. We don't, yeah, let's just get rid of those. We don't need those. Okay, so these are the variables we need. Why do we need them, you ask? That is a fantastic question. So, room pick ID. This is, what is happening? Okay, this is going to be the variable that it shows the image layer on. So as you're moving throughout the dungeon, there's all sorts of crazy tonight. I apologize. So as you're moving throughout the dungeon, it is showing tiles, showing the map tiles. So we've got all these individual pictures right here, right? And this is the layout of all the different rooms. This is great. Fantastic. So as you're going through, you need to be showing those tiles, but at different image layers is how RPG Maker works. You cannot show more than one image on a specific image layer, and there are 100 image layers. So we have 40 rooms that we have to show, and we need to know exactly which image layer we're showing based on where the player is at. So at this point, let's flash the screen here. And I just want to see what variables we have to work. Okay. What do we have to work with? Well, we have, there's the starting, so there's the exit room. Okay. I guess we've got variable 100, which is player location. Okay, so 22. Player location is equal to 22. Okay. What else do we have? Nothing really. Yeah, so I think everything we have to do is based on the player's location, which is fine. That should all be okay. Just trying to think of how we're going to do this. So if we do, okay. Here's what we're going to do. So down here, we're going to do, I'm not going to set this variable quite yet. I mean, we can. Yeah, we can set that variable. Let's grab this actually, because we're not going to be able to do this in just the normal RPG Maker variable calling thing. We've got a lot of stuff we actually need to change about it. So let's grab this. Let's actually replace all of that. Okay, so we are setting set variable game variables dot set value. We are setting the room picture ID, which needs to start at 50. Oh, crap. That's not going to work. Balls. I just realized. So, crap. Okay, how are we going to work around this? So with the picture IDs, right? We only have so many we can work with. And so we don't want to dedicate 60 image layers just to the map. That is way too much, and we need image layers for other things. So if we come over here to pictures, you can see the backgrounds. So this is everything behind everything. This is image layers 1 through 5. The player, so the player's image is layer 6. Your inventory, so all your dice, is image layers 7 through 22. The card section is going to be 23 through 36. The point of view is 37 through 48. We may not need all of those, but I mean, we're like, the POV is things like, well, the room for starters, like the actual room you're seeing in front of you. This is decor, so the vines, the torches. This is traps. This is monsters. This is any type of animation that shows up in that POV. So we do need to make sure we have enough image layers. So yeah, I think we might actually need all 10 of those. And if that gets us up to 48, that means we are past the point of being able to use 60 image layers for 60 different rooms. Right? So all we have to work with right now, we have 92 minus 50. We have got 42 image layers to work with, which is fine because we have 40 rooms per dungeon. Fantastic. Incredible. Except for the fact... Ugh. Okay. So the way that we're going to have to show these pictures... We could... All right. Here's a new idea. A new plan, if you will. What we're going to do... Yes. What we're going to do... Sorry, I'm thinking through how we're actually going to do this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to get rid of... We don't need any of these. We don't need that. Fog. Player icon. We do need player icon. That will come later. Okay, so we don't need you. RTG show. RTG show is what we need. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to actually show all of the images, right? So we're going to show the entire dungeon, the entire floor layout, but they're all going to be at 0% opacity. The reason for this is this will then properly assign the picture IDs so that we actually show all rooms 1 through 40 with the correct image IDs. And then as you move into those dungeons, it will just change the opacity from 0 to 255. So just basically reveals the picture versus having to show the picture and hope you're showing the right one. So here's what we're going to do. At the very end here, gets to the end, right? Let's grab... We don't need you, or you. You've already all been established. Let's grab all of this. Maybe we actually do... Yeah, we actually probably do want to just have show in here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's grab you. RTG spawn. Come down here to the bottom. It does all of this stuff. And then it shows the layout. So, RTG current snake location equals 1. And it loops this process. Show the map. All of that fun stuff. I'm going to leave it at 255 just to make sure that we're spawning everything correctly. And then at the end, we're going to do that. So turn on new room, turn on spawn dungeon. That's how we know that we're good to go. We've got the flash. So everything else here. So we don't need to do show picture room. Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm realizing I don't know how we're going to reference the image layers to show them as you move around the dungeon. Okay, let's think about this. So we're going to need to create variables that assign the value so that I can then reference that value later. Actually, that shouldn't be too bad. Let's do that. At the end, we'll just put this down here, just so we have it. So, in here, yeah. So in here, we need to control a variable like this. Copy that. So when this increases the RTG room pick ID +1. So before it does that, because right now it's at 50, so before it adds 1 to that, this is where we're going to have the script right there. Okay, this is going to set the value of a specific variable, which we are going to now create. So, game variables. Down here, rooms, RTG, we'll just start right here. This is going to be room pick ID 1. What if I do this? Okay, so it is a little weird. We'll just do that. So basically, we need 60 variables that we can. We will then go in and as it adds, as it is assigning the image layers or the image IDs, as it assigns the image, sorry, I'm trying to talk and also type in numbers to make sure I don't get this wrong, I'm not good at it. Anyway, so as it is showing the image layers, I will then assign an ID. Yes, yeah. I'll assign the ID of the image layer. That way I can then reference if a room has the specific ID, yada, yada, yada. It sounds a little weird, but it's going to work. I hope. I feel like that's famous last words. It's going to work. I'm sure it will. I've thought it out in my head for a whole 3 seconds, so it's got to work, right? All right, almost there. One more page. 41. Oof. This will probably be the most manual part of this whole process. Getting all this set up. There we go. Okay, so we're starting at variable 381. So we're going to say set value of 380 plus game variables dot value 100. No, that is the player's location. We do not want 100. We want 372. 372. Oop. And then we're setting it to be equal to what variable? The variable is 367. Set it to game variables dot value 367. So this is basically just saying, hey, set variable 380 plus the current location. So 380, it'd be plus 1, so 381 to equal variable 367. 367 is the RTG room pick ID. So starting point would be 50. So it's setting variable 381 to equal 50. Okay. And then it'll add to that. It'll go through. It's going to increase by 1. All that fun stuff, right? So current snake location adds 1. Yada, yada, yada. So hopefully it should assign the correct ID sequentially to any room that is a room. Yes. I hope. We shall see. We shall see what happens. Let us commence. Come in here, yada, yada, yada. Go, that should all be spawned. Hey, look at that. It showed the dungeon. Hey, look at that. It's all there. Woo. But let's do this. What was that? 380 something? RTG. Okay. So yeah, so then it should be 50, 51, 52, 50, 51, 52, 54, so 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. It should go all the way up to picture 89. Nice. Perfect. Okay. So now each of the rooms have a reference to their image layer ID. Yes. Absolutely. I do also want to do the player icon. Map. No. Room. I think if I just have that, right? Should just have to copy and paste it. We do this. Picture room 0. Okay. Well, it is trying to show a picture based off of, so it's image layer 37, room plus 93. What is 93? Let's find out. 93 is current room layout. Wouldn't we have current room layout? I thought we had current room layout. $93. Set 93 to equal 93 equal to 0. Why? Set current room config to spawn room config. Game variables dot set value 93 to equal game variables dot value 97 plus 4 times 100. So if you're 1, you would be 97 plus 4, which would be 101. I don't think I would need that. I don't think it needs another parenthesis, but maybe. See what happens. Current room layout still equal to 0. Okay. Why are you not setting that variable correct? What is variable? Variable 100 should be the player's current location, right? Variable 100. Player location is 34. It should be 34 times 4 plus 97. Okay. Spawn things in spawn room. Don't spawn things in exit room. And this is game variables dot set value 93 to equal that. Okay. Well, what if we do something like this? You. I think we need to add one more over here. Let's see what happens. Confirm. Current room layout equals 10. Well, there we go. Perfect. That's working. So I just need to adjust the rest of these then. I don't know why. I mean, that I would assume would work, but I guess not. I guess not. So, comma, you equal that. Need to add another parenthesis to the end of all of these. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Making sure. Okay. So that's good there. And then this is showing the layout. Oh, that's right. Yes, all of that is good to go. So come over here, hit confirm, flash. We can get rid of that flash eventually. Now, the player's location is 25. So let's just make sure. So 6, 12, 24. So we should be right here. 25. That makes sense. We can go up and down. All right, cool. Absolutely fantastic. I want to make sure, because every single time we come into a dungeon, we want to check and make sure the dungeon is actually navigable. Seems like it is, so that's good. Like I've said many times, as soon as there is one dungeon that is not navigable, we have to scrap the whole thing. Well, not scrap, but we have to fix it. All right, so where are we then in the process? We've assigned a variable ID to all the pictures showing. We're showing the whole map, but we don't want to show the whole map now. So let's come in here. When we show the image, don't show it at 255, show it at 0. So if we come in here, should be able to do confirm. It'll spawn the map. It'll not show anything because we haven't explored the map. We've got our map here. Awesome. Now, how are we going to make this work? Okay, so this is showing the actual POV. This is where we need to show the player icon. It's not showing as of now. It's the player X and player Y. Let's not go based off of player X and player Y. Let's do room X and room Y. Will that actually make it show? Oh yeah. Also gonna get rid of that flash because we don't need the flash anymore. confirm. Still not showing the actual player's location. Why would that be, do you think? Room X is 1. Room Y is 11. Oh! It is showing it just right up here in the corner. Okay, that is the wrong thing. We need to do the next variable's over. We need to be doing the other ones. Show it based off of you and you. But we can't just do a regular show picture because I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show it like right still there. What? Player icon. RTG, pick X start, pick Y start. What? Why is it still up over there? It should be down. Yeah. Picture X start, 1022, 450. Hmm. 1022, 370, 371, 370, 371. Hannah Montana's going on here. Show layout. 97 plus 372 times 4 is greater than 0. Okay, so if there is a room, show picture. Yeah. And then set 380 plus 372, 367. I feel like there's something else going on weird. Because that definitely showed in the right position for a fraction of a second. I think something else over here. There it is. There it is. So I guess the question then would be, do we show it here or do we show it in the common event? We only need it in one spot. I think we're just going to do it in that event. Yeah. No, never mind. Cancel. We're just going to show it here. We're going to get rid of it on this one. Go. Down here. That should be good. Come over here. Yes. Confirm. There we go. Right there. Just as I was expecting. Okay, so we need to get the player's X and Y value. How are we going to do that? So player, room X, room Y. Let's do down here, comment get player X and Y. So the idea is conditional branch, variable 100, first, set game variables. We don't want to change the player's location because that needs to be solid. What we can do is grab the RTG current snake location because that is done. It is over. So 372. So I believe 372 is being used here. Yes. Control variables, 372. Okay, so all of that's being used. So once it's done with that, we can use 372. 372 is freed up to be used again. So set 372 to equal player location. They're now the same. Okay, so then we're going to do, if 372 is greater than 6. And what we're going to do is we're going to say control variables add 1 to player Y, moving up. So add 1 to player Y. Yes. So if you're greater than 6, add 1 to player Y, subtract 6 from current snake location, 372. Let's loop this, actually. So basically, it's going to loop that. And then if that is ever not greater than 6, what we're going to do is then say conditional branch. If you are greater than 0, then what we're going to do is add 1 to player Y. Player X, subtract 1 from that, and then as soon as it is no longer greater than 0, so as soon as it hits 0, then we can break the loop. Okay, and then that will set the players, that will set the X and Y of the current player location. Let's see if that works. So the player is at 4. So player Y should be 0 and player X should be 4. Perfect. Do it one more time with a little bit, hopefully more complicated of a position. So you're equal to 31. So, what would that be? So 31, we'd be 6, 12, 24, 30, 31. Okay, yeah, there we go. So now with that really quick loop, that will just take whatever this number is, the player's location, and turn it into an X and Y value based on the width and height of the dungeon. Fantastic. Oh, that's not too bad. Just that right there. Little snippet. Okay, so we have the X and the Y. Now we need to figure out where to put the player icon. Yes. So show image. Show image 92. And it's going to be a player icon. Not gonna append anything to the name. Show it at 1, and then the X and Y. This is where it's gonna get a little bit funky. So the X is going to be game variables.value plus no, let's figure this out first. So we basically need to get the starting position of the picture. So the X value first is 1022, which is variable 370. So you are going to be variable 370. So that's the initial X starting position plus game variables.value. And now we need player X, 98. 98 times and then we need the width of these guys. I hope I'm calculating this correct. Width is 40, but it overlaps. So I believe we would do canvas size, height, 80. Gosh. There we go. So to get lined up, you would be moving 36. Okay. So 98 times, nope, 36 times 98. Okay, so that would mean it is setting the X value to be the initial starting position, which was like 10, 30 something or whatever, times 36 or plus 36 times that value. So if it's equal to 1, it would just be 36. If it's equal to 2, it'd be 72. 72? Yeah. So that should be that. So let's come over here. Let's just grab all of this. And we just need to adjust this to be Y stuff now. So instead of 370, you should be 371. Instead of 98, you should be 99. So I always put the X right out, the Y right after the X. That should be good. That should be good. All right. Now, if my calculations are correct, should be able to, if we come over here, actually, let's set this back to 255. I just want to see we're actually showing correctly. And get rid of that. Please, oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please. Ooh. Actually, I realize the problem. For the Y value, we do not want to be adding. We want to be subtracting that value. Because with the Y value, we want to go up if we're moving. Yeah. Hey, there we go. Oh, yes, there we go. All right, we're in that room. And all that visual seems to line up. So if we come over here, right there. That's not right. Great. So we're in room 29, though. So 6, 12, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So we're one down from where we're supposed to be. Is that going to be the same if we refresh and come over here? Yep. We're one down. All right. So does that mean just the X and the Y value is just too high? Picture start is 450. Okay. So if we did 450 minus 36, 414. So if we did that, no, it's still incorrect. We're 30. Ooh, all of that is off now. Oh, what have I done? Okay, that was bad. That was bad. 450. Back to 450. Okay. Oof. That was not good. So we need this to move. Yes, we're in room 29, 12, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Yes, so it should be up 1. Okay. So what would that be? That would be showing player icon. $37 minus 36 times 99. Happening. Am I getting notifications this late at night? Why does my fingerprint not match? Okay. All right. We're good. I don't know. When I get texts like at 11 o'clock at night, I'm like, what's happening? So you're 371, which variable 371 should be the Y value. 371, RTG, picture start, yes, for Y. Minus 36 times 99. Is 99 correct? Maybe 99 just isn't even correct. $99 player Y is equal to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I think that's the problem. I think that is a problem. Divas Oatmeal. Ahoy. Glad you could be here. Welcome back to the stream. Your suggestions have been paying dividends, I will say. I will absolutely say. How you been doing, though? So we need to show this image based off of 36 times, let's put that in another parenthesis, that plus 1. There we go. I expect to check in the mail in 4 to 6 business weeks. I'll get right on that. Be expecting a little bit more on the 6 business weeks. Gonna take a little while. Let's see. Okay, so that should be showing in the correct position then, right? Yes. So we've got left, right, down, perfect. We're in room 16, which is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so that is showing correctly now. Anyway, yeah, since you weren't here the last, I guess, 2 streams, I can show you what we have got working with your suggestions. Doing good, about to start working some more on my stuffs. I have been doing fantastic. Had my first week of work last week, and so I'm now in week 2. And yeah, the new job is going great. Very tired, but I'm like, you know what? We're gonna keep going. It's gonna be great. Yeah. So we're starting to work on your creative projects, your stuff. So if we come over here, I hopefully haven't broken it too much, but I'm gonna show you what we got. So if we come over here, we go in here. I believe this is the working one. That is just, we don't need that. Delete that. You are a fog of war. We can set all of this to just be that. Okay. You are that. You are that. Okay. So let's just show you really quick what we've got. I can't remember exactly how well it goes, so we're just gonna hit play and I'm gonna show you. Yes, there we go. Okay. As you can see, you've got the Hydra doing its thing, working its way around the dungeon, slowly but surely mapping out a path for the entire dungeon. And there we go. You've now got a full path all through the dungeon right now. So this is probably, I'd say, the maybe 20th-ish time that we've run it, and haven't had any issues yet, so that is fantastic. I was having some issues previously. It's been reworked a little bit, so it's running off of a lot of the ideas that you suggested. We worked on that. Let's see, when would that have been? A week ago. yeah, it looks like, yeah, you followed 6 days ago. So a week ago when you were here, yeah, still running off of a lot of those same things. We were running into a lot of issues still with it, so it's been reworked a bit. But anyway, yeah, so if I refresh again, it'll just kind of go throughout the dungeon, as you can see, and it just kind of maps along and does its thing. But yeah, so a couple of the changes, it doesn't just move based on, so kind of like we had talked about before, where it would move X amount of spaces, and then it would despawn, and then spawn a new one somewhere else in the dungeon. We moved away from that because we were having issues where sometimes it would not connect all the rooms, unfortunately. So we've now changed to the snake will just keep moving, or the Hydra will keep moving until it backtracks. If it ever backtracks on itself or a previous Hydra's self, it will basically reduce its HP by 1, and then once it reaches 0 HP, it despawns the Hydra, spawns a new one. And yeah, so technically it could go as far as it wanted, but as soon as it starts backtracking, it only has X amount of time to do that before it despawns and spawns a new one up here. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's what we've got right now. Oh, this, is it gonna... Oh, it broke! Well, look at that. Look at that. I knew it was only a matter of time before it would break. So, spawned everything down here. Everything's great down here. Fantastic, incredible. And then it just didn't spawn a doorway here. Tragic. Absolutely tragic. Well. Oh well. It's close enough. We're not going to scrap the whole thing. We're going to figure out some method. I know we will. It's just going to take time. We're just going to have to keep practicing and figuring it out. But anyway, so yeah. Well, I guess now we're at a 30 times out of 31. It works just fine. And then there's just that one time where it doesn't work. But that is an issue we will resolve eventually. We will get this to work 100% of the time. Is that time now? No. But we're getting there. So for now, we have been working through we're trying to make this work faster, and I found a way. It's a very weird way. But yeah, so as you can see, it is a extremely slow process right now. You can see it go through very slowly. After a few tweaks and adjusting, actually very little, just using a weird trick in RPG Maker, we now have it to be where you can come in here and we will start, and like that, it's all spawned, all pathed, all good to go. Yeah. It's just so very sad that every now and then it just doesn't spawn correctly. I still am not sure exactly how we're going to fix that, but I am just way too happy with the idea of random gen that I'm like, I'm not going to stop trying to make it work. We're going to figure it out. So anyway, that is where we are at. We are, yeah, finally we've implemented it, and we got it working most of the time, and we are now implementing it into the game itself. I think if I try to move, it's just gonna break everything. Okay, well, it didn't break everything. Technically, aside from the player icon being all weird, it technically hasn't broken everything, because that is showing correctly. There's a doorway up, to the right, and down, which is exactly what it is here and there. We go to the right, there should be a doorway on all sides, which there is, and of course a trap room. I just turned down these trap rooms now that we're not testing traps anymore. So yeah, so up, down, left, right. If we go down, it should just be up and down, no left and right. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, so really at this point, it's just a matter of the player icon is not showing correctly, but that should be an easy fix because we literally just fixed it down here. Should be able to copy that. And I think it's in this one. Yes, this is moving the picture. Crap. This is gonna be fun. So the X and the Y are a little weird. I have to be getting X and Y somewhere though. Actually. Okay, so I will not need this again. This is just for the initial thing. Because then every time you press a button to move, right? It's like if you try to move down, it should move. Player X, or player Y +4. Forgot about that. So what's actually moving? Okay, move. Okay, all right. Oh, I did things so manually back then. This is only like 2 months ago that I made this, and it is just absolutely garbage. Once you started moving, it was consistent. Is there an origin point on it? Yes, there is. This is the origin point. So, yeah, so much of this old code is so inefficient. What I am doing right now, quite literally, is I am saying, so if the player presses down, so this is everything for the player pressing down. It checks a whole bunch of just random junk, adds to variables, willy-nilly, randomly. I mean, not randomly, but like there is rhyme and reason. But then it comes in here and it will check literally every single player location. So it's like, oh, is the player's location equal to 1? Do all of this stuff. Set the X and Y coordinate for that image to this, and then move it to that. Oh boy. This is going to be a bit more than I thought. I didn't think it was going to be that much. I just made this 2 months ago, and it's garbage. Now you sound like a programmer. Yeah, it's crazy how much just like 2 months of progress, and then you coming back and looking at your old code, you're just like, what was I thinking? Why did I do it this way? Ooh, yeah, that's... I know that I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't do it. But I really want to rewrite this entire thing. Because I can make this so much more efficient. Just says I'm doing the same thing right now, looking at this action platformer code I'm working on with a friend. Yeah, but I'm redoing mine because I need to. Yeah, I very well may need to. Because... okay. Do it, coward. Yeah, I probably will have to. Because that is just so terrible. I'm literally going in and being like, are you in room 1? Are you in room 2? Are you in room 3? And that is so inefficient. When like literally all I need to do is this guy right here. Okay. DV says, I've refactored old work so many times, it's always worth it. It definitely will be. Yeah, because it is very, very extremely horribly inefficient. I mean, there's kind of a reason. So, I don't know if anyone has noticed. So down here is where the maps are in RPG Maker. You may have noticed this map I called Test Dungeon. Because this was supposed to be a test to see if I could even do what I was wanting to do. Which what I was wanting to do was make a first-person dungeon where you got your POV here, and you're not locked to the RPG Maker grid that all other games are locked to, and I'm making my own grid over here with the map. So yeah, it technically was a test. So I'm almost wondering, because I think we're close enough to say I don't want to say it, but I think we can almost say we are content locked, right? We've got the map. We've got the randomly generated dungeon. We've got the POV. That is all working. We've got the inventory. That's all working. We've got the play area down here. That's all working. The player section could still use some rework, but it's not. And then the quest section, it's currently blank because we have no quests, is working. And so I almost want to say, do we start a fresh new map? Because like you can see here, so every single one of these little slightly darker boxes is an event running on this map to do different things. So skip saving throw animation, saving throw, event 14, trap puzzle 1, trap puzzle 2, puzzle timer. So all of these are doing different things, right? And I think now, knowing what we know now, with how we want everything to work, and how far we've come in creating all of the different other aspects of the game, yeah, I do think we maybe say, all right, we have all this we can come back and reference if we need. And some of these, obviously, like we'll copy and paste them, like the puzzles. Like we pretty recently made these puzzles. They're good, like they're fine, whatever. We can copy and paste these. It's the core of this map, right? So this is the initialization and the buttons. And all of this stuff is extremely inefficient. The dice move, we'd probably just copy and paste that. That one was fairly recently redone, so we would keep that. Player damage, that's not too bad. Then this one, the spawning / moving dungeon. This is no longer spawning the dungeon, so it's not even spawn / move dungeon, it's just move in the dungeon. And yeah, all of the, like this is, everything here, all of this code is just allowing the player to move up, down, left, right. That is it. There's just so much inefficiency in everything that it's checking. And then this, it goes through literally every single room. So 1 through 18, 19 through 36, 37 through 54, and 55 through 60. This is checking every individual room you go into to tell it exactly what to do. Like setting X and Y variables, showing a picture, all that stuff. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think that is what we're going to do. It's good practice. Because of the refactoring, I've gotten much faster at coding. That is true. Practice makes perfect. And redoing what you have done, but in a more efficient way, is a fantastic way to practice. So, yeah. Even all of this, I feel like there's got to be a much better way to do all of this too. This is just spawning monsters and items. Gotta be. It's gotta be. Anyway, on the bright side, we basically have the random dungeon generation implemented into the actual gameplay. You look back at this and be like, I could remake that in a day now. That is actually a very... there's a possibility of that. Wow. I like how I turned down the amount of traps there should be, and then the first thing I walk into is a trap. Well, that's odd. Yeah, that is... Yeah, that is much higher than it should be. Okay, what is happening? I turned up the monsters. There should be monsters. Why are there so many traps now? And just items. See, this is another reason I'm like, why I should be... Yeah, I don't remember anything of why any of this would be -3 to 3. Items, empty, monsters. -3 to 3. You're greater than 0. Okay. Oh. Yeah, so much of this, I'm just like, wait a minute. Set between 0 and 0. Monster spawn max. Okay. Set it to be between 1 and 4, I believe is what we would need to actually get monsters, right? There we go. Okay, now we've got monsters again. Yeah, all right. Well, is everyone ready to get strapped in and see how we're going to do this from the ground up? I'm a little nervous, but I'm also excited. I'm nervous, but excited. Oh, man. Yeah. This is going to be a big undertaking. So with the spawn/move dungeon, loaded graphics, fog spawned is on. Actually, we don't even need that. Yeah, let's go, let's go. Okay. Whew, big undertaking. Here we go. Well, the first thing we need to refactor is this thing right here. This is actually moving through the dungeon. So all of this. So what are we actually doing here? So if the player's location is equal to 1, so if you're in room 1, and then if room layout is not equal to 0, that shouldn't matter at all. Honestly, neither should player location. Because all we should be doing is just saying if you over here you press down, position, player location. Okay, so it should turn on transition right here. So the check should be in here. Yes. We're already checking to see if there's a room. Because if you try and press down, else, so this is saying you are not, there is no room below you. That is correct. Okay. Okay, so over here, in here, get player X and Y. 370. What is variable 370? 370 is RTG picture X start. Okay, so 370 plus 36 times that. Okay. Come over here. You press down. long as all of that stuff is correct, then we're going to say control variables, add 36. Right? You need to move 36, correct? Come over here. We say go with 24, sure. So the center here is 36. Yes. So add 36 to... Oh, we don't want to add to picture X start. That is incorrect. We don't want to change that. We want to change... 370 plus 36 times 98. What is 98? 98 is the player's X position, right? 98, player X and player Y. We don't need to change any variable then. This just changes player location -6. So if we come over here, yeah. So if we press down, and let's get rid of all of this. We're going to be able to delete a lot of stuff from there if my thought is correct. Okay, so that one doesn't work. So I need a generated dungeon. There we go. Perfect. So it's... Ooh, boy. That's exciting. The player position icon. Ah, crap. Ooh, that was... I almost messed that up. Big time. Okay. Transition down to here. Now, when I move down to here, it should center me. Should. Did not. That's all right. That's all right. But it didn't error out. Don't know where it's showing the picture. Yeah, show picture 92, player icon 1. Show you at 370 plus 36 times 98. And show you at 370 minus 36 times 99 plus 1. Okay. So 370 and 98. What are all y'all? $370 and 98. 98 is equal to 6. So 6 and 2. 6. Yes, that is correct. What was the other one? 370? 370, yes. Is equal to 1022. 1022 and 450. Those should not be changing at all. Those should be set and not being adjusted. Yes. So the only thing that should be being adjusted is the player's X and Y. 6 and 2. So if I go like this, it should say 6. No, that should not be a 2. 6 and 2. Okay. All right. All right. Well, Ooh. Sorry, Jesse, I missed your message. I still need to see if I can figure out some way to get like a ping when I get a message. One of these days. That's fine. Minimap plays by its own rules. It's true. It really does. It goes a little crazy. No worries at all. Yeah, yeah, but I always feel so bad when like, you know, someone messages me and trying to get my attention with something, and then I promise I am not ignoring. I just get a little bit too focused sometimes. So, I apologize for that. Yeah, so I mean, the move direction, we shouldn't need to worry about that. Turns on A. A is on. Oh, this is okay. So it's taking care of all of this here. Okay. We don't need that either. Shouldn't this. Couldn't need these. Couldn't need any of this. Okay. Well. It's gonna hurt. But you're all there for me, right? Here we go. Here we go. We need to move direction. Delete, 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 delete. Oof. That hurts. It hurts bad. So what is move direction? What is actually... Move direction is variable 97. 395. 93, 93, 93, 93, 93. That is a lot of 93s. Okay. Current room monster is greater than 1. Loop. Wait for 2 frames. Turn that off. Alright, so maybe we don't need that. Move direction 0. Ugh, man. Okay. Player's location -6. We just need to show the picture. Okay, so I think then anytime we try to move down, it should show it correctly. So it should show here. Crap. Okay. All right, all right. What is 93? 93 is current room layout. I think this old man's gonna head to bed. Been a great stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here, Jesse. Go get some rest. I'll probably be heading out in about 30-ish minutes anyway. So, you have a fantastic evening. See you tomorrow for our Wednesday stream. Last stream of the week. We'll see if we can actually get all of this finished up. So, yeah. Take care. Hope you have a great day tomorrow. We'll see you then. So 93 is the current room layout. Okay, so this is just checking to see if the current room layout is either 1, 5, 7, 10, 11, 12, yada, yada, yada. Those are all the layouts that can move down. Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so then let's come over here. So I am in that room. Let's check. Variable 100. Player location is 17. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. So if I press down once, it should be 11. Player location is 5. Nope, that is not right. Took us down too many. All the way down. Took us all the way down. Press down. Player's location is greater than 7. Turn off spawn monster. Saving throw dice is set to 0. Player location -6. Movement direction equals 1. That shouldn't matter. Doesn't matter what way we're going. I think we can get rid of that. Turn on transition. And I think just here we just need to say exit event processing. All right, let's check this again. Of course, there's location 5. So if I try to go down, but I can go up. 41. Okay. So we're turning on stop decor animations. We still need that. Spawn monster off. Saving dice throw. Is it just literally just moving me as far over as possible? So if I'm right here, can't go to the right. But if I try, so I'm currently at 33. 6, 12, 24, 5, 26, 27, 28, 29, 33, 1, 32, 33. Okay. I shouldn't be able to go to the right. Okay. Or to the left. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. I still can't go left or right. Come on, game. Give me a room where I can go left or right. There we go. Okay. So I am currently in room 34. So if I press to the right, will it take me to room 36? 6. Okay. So what do I need to do? Down is pressed. Left is pressed. That loops. That should break the loop. Next save throw. Player's location is greater than or equal to 7. Okay. So we want to change the player's location, -6. We also want to change player's Y, add 1 to it. That's for down. Yes. Well, I was thinking we could bandage it at least for now, but yeah, we may just be starting everything from scratch because this is very broken. Very, very broken. So let's just say for kicks and giggles, because it seems like basically everything here, this is the only page that actually does anything. If you're not this page, this is just everything else, just basically saying, hey, don't allow the player to move during any of these things. Yeah. All right, well, let's just put this to action button for now. Create a new event. Dungeon move. So this is how we're going to move the dungeon. Parallel process. So, this comes down here, turns on, show HUD. I don't think that should matter. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna matter. So, how are we gonna make it so the player can move through the dungeon? Well, first and foremost, we're going to do conditional branch if the button down is being pressed. Oh, I think I actually maybe just realized what it might have been that's broken, but let's just check really quick. So I think we can delete these. We move. Can't move. Oh, I said that to action button, of course. So I believe what it was, current room monster is greater than or equal to 1. Failed dex save is on. Saving throw monster. Turn on saving throw monster. If current room monster is greater than or equal to 1. I mean, yeah. All right, never mind. Starting from scratch. Dungeon move. If down is pressed, then let's do troll switches. Turn on is pressed. Okay. And then we're going to say, oh, actually, where was that? Was it over here? I backed up a script call. No, that's not what we need. Never mind. Never mind. We're good. So we're going to say conditional branch. Ooh, not loop. Conditional branch. If variable player location is greater than 6. So as long as you're not on the bottom layer, you'll be able to move. And additional branch, so long as game variables dot value We want to go 97 plus 4 times game variables dot value 100. So this is going to be checking your current room Okay, so 97 plus, let's see, what would that be? It would be 6 times 4, right? 24? I think so, plus 24. So variables. So if you are in room, let's say you're in room 12, you got the room layout for 12. If you were to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yes, room 6 layout. Okay, that is exactly what we want to check and see. So that would be the room directly below you. So, game variables 97 plus 24 plus 4 times current location. All right. Check if that is not equal to 0. Okay, so long as you are not on the bottom row, and so long as the room below you is equal to not 0. Oh, we do also need to check. Okay. Whew, there are so many checks. And then we also need to say, this is where actually we can use this guy. Let's grab this script. This is where we can say, if, just pull up the pictures here really quick, check and see all of the maps that can move down. So that would be 1, 5, 7, 10, 11, 12, 14, and 15. So rooms 1, 5, 7, 10, 11, 12, 14, and 15 can all move down. So these 3 checks, it is, are you on the bottom row? Are you not on the bottom row? Is the room below you a room? And is your room one of these that allow you to move in that direction? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think we actually need this check. Because if the room you're in allows you to move down, then we don't need to check if there's a room below you, because of course there's going to be a room below you because you can move down. Okay, so I think I can actually get rid of this. So, let's cut that, put that there. There we go. But so long as you're not on the bottom row, and so long as the room below you has a doorway, then you can move down. What do we need to do here? We need to change the player's location. So control variables sub 6 from variable 100, player's location. We need to add 1 to the player's player Y. Okay. Yeah, if you add to the Y, you move down. Yes. Okay. Now, what else were we doing? Player location is greater than 7. Okay. It's at 98 plus 4 times 100 to 94. 94, 95, and 96. 94. Monster, item. Okay. So this is basically putting any items and monsters that were in the room back into the database. So we do need that. Let's do that really quick. Turn on stop decor animations. Turn off spawned monsters. Saving dice throws equal to 0. Player location, player Y. Turn on transition. Okay. We can get rid of you and you. So we need to turn on stop animations. We need to turn off spawn monster. Saving dice throw is going to be equal to 0. Then player location, -6 because they're going down. Player Y is +1 because you're going down. Then you're going to show image 92 player icon at 370 plus 36 times 98. 98 should be player X. And then 99 should be player Y. +1. 100, 100, 255, 0. Turn on transition. Okay. And then turn on is pressed. And at the end of here, additional branch, if the player is still holding down. Nope, we're going to loop and then say if the player is still holding down, if the switch is pressed is on, and if player down is still being pressed down, and just keep looping. As soon as it's not, break the loop. I think bare bones, that should be what we need to move down. Let's see. Of course it starts me at the very bottom. Trying to test here, game. Okay, so I should be able to move down. Oh, of course it's action button. So help me if this is action button. And it is. This really just does not want me to test the down button, does it? Okay, so if I press down, nothing. Like what? Why? Flash screen? I'm pressing it down, it should just flash the screen, right? Yeah. Ooh. On the bright side, the that check to see if I'm still holding down works. Because if I press and hold down, it only flashes once and stops. And I have to let go and press again to actually have it go. That's cool. That's cool that that's working. It's the only thing that's working, but it's cool that it's working. Okay. 1, 5, 7, 10, yada, yada, yada. So let's see if we are making it in here. Should be. As long as we're not on the bottom row. Of course we're on the bottom row. Okay, good. Are we making it in here? Oh, wait, what? I didn't change that. Of course we're not making it in there. Oh my goodness gracious. I am an idiot. So if includes in-game variable, not 5, we're going to say 97 plus game variables dot value of 100, so the player's location times 4. All right, there we go. Now As long as we can actually move Dane in the toil we're in, should be good. We should be able to have it flash the screen. I moved up, which is not what we want to have happen. Why did I move up? Player Y +1. I thought we were going to be plussing 1. Maybe we're subtracting 1? That doesn't make sense. I mean, it moved me down, so that's what we want. I just thought I would be adding to Y, not subtracting. Oh well. Okay, so down is working. Kind of. Can we turn on transition? Revealing rooms. POV transition. Oh, that's why okay. That makes sense why I was using variable 97. All right. Okay, well then, control variables set 97 to equal 1. Yeah. The end of that, control variables set movement direction to equal 0. Cool. So now, if I press down, if I was in a room that I could press down on, it should play the transition animation. Okay, well, it is moving me. It's not changing that picture, though. But the reason why it's not doing that is because, I mean, I assumed that the POV transition would be taking care of that, but I guess not. Yeah, what the crap, it should be. Room. I think I need to update it, though. Because if we come over here, showing room, you. Okay. You are literally the exact same. Plus 93. What is 93? 93 is current room layout. So what was taking care of the current room layout? I guess it would have been somewhere in that other thing that I deleted. I guess. All right, well, let's come down here and we're gonna do you. Going to do this, and we're going to say 97 plus 4 times 100 equals 93. Alright, so that should change the room you're in. If we go down, it should then be a single corridor. Not. Okay. Turn on transition. Transition is on. Movement direction is 1. Room plus 93. 93 would be current room layout. Yeah. But we're not changing current room layout over here. Should be. Game variables dot set value. Trying to remember where and when and why I put all of this stuff is... Oof. But it's probably why I need to just... I say I need to rebuild it from the ground up. But there's so much here. Oh, I just worry that it would put me back by like weeks. You know? And I know that makes me a coward. I know it does. But it scares me. I'm so scared. Terrified. Absolutely terrified. Okay. Because here's the problem. If I'm just copying and pasting things from other things and being like, well, this is what I did to make this thing work, I'm never going to get past all of this crap. There's so much here that okay. There's probably not tons here that I could get rid of, but there is some stuff here that I could just probably be like, you know what? I don't need that in here. Let's get rid of it. Get it out of here. Because some of it is just, oh, that was a bug. Let's fix it by just turning on this switch. And then there we go. Now the decor animations stop playing. Okay. Set value 97 plus 4 times 100, so that'd be 101. Set 101 to equal 93. I don't think that's what we would want, actually. No. No, no, no. What we want is this. Set 93 to equal 97 plus 4 times 1. Think. Give me a room where I can move down. It's like it knows that I want to move down, and it's like, oh, well, we're gonna give you... Oh my gosh. Okay, good. Now, if I move down, it's probably gonna stay the exact same, because it's just, yeah. Okay. Now, is it gonna change? Is there gonna be a door over here on this one? Crap. Okay. Yep. All right. Well, here's what I'm gonna say. Over here, tie in new RTG system. That is technically tied in. Redo entire dungeon or tomb scene. Yeah, I think we just need to rebuild the whole thing from the ground up. As much as it's gonna suck to redo all of this, I think it's what we need to do. The test dungeon, it got it so we could be like, yes, it is possible. You can do all of this stuff. Now, we just need to rebuild it from the ground up. But hey, I guess on the bright side, because I would say probably 30 to 40% of this entire scene was built out before I even started streaming. So, you'll be able to see all of the absolute madness as to why I have done the things I've done, how I did them, and all that fun stuff. So, there will be some things that I will just probably copy over, right? Like the dice move. The dice move is something that I very recently redid to make it as efficient as possible. It is still an absolute mess, but that's what happens when you're using RPG Maker to try and make it so you can pick up and just move pictures around the screen. It's not great at it, but it's possible. Same thing with the card draws. I mean, all of this, it's about as efficient as I'm probably going to get it. So, you know, I'll probably keep that as well. And the same thing, you know, with the with saving throws and all that stuff. I'll just have to make sure that it ties in well with the new everything that I set up. So really, it would probably be this initialization and the buttons, making sure that these are a little bit more efficient. The dungeon move, I tried to get it, and for some reason, it just is not working the way I'm expecting it to. Which means I probably just need to, because you've got the revealing rooms, which I started replacing, and it's like, nope, that's not going to work. The POV transitions, it's like, I mean, I'm sure there's other ways that I can make this look better, but spawning the monsters, this one 100% needs to be redone, because it has just become an absolute mess of code. Because I've just been slowly adding little bits here and there to make it work, and it's absolutely terrible. The room decor animations, I'll probably just be able to copy and paste those. Monster animations, I should probably be able to copy and paste that. Level up, I think I'm going to completely redo this level up system anyway, so yeah. Okay, well, let's do this. New map. We're going to call this the Tomb. And it's going to be 27 by 15. All right, there we go. A fresh, blank slate that we will be working on. But I am not about to start basically remaking that entire scene from the ground up at midnight. So I think we're going to call it there. But tomorrow night, we will hit the ground running with that. We are going to start rebuilding it all from the ground up. Should be a great time, I hope. Fingers crossed. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's necessary. We absolutely need to do it. So now or never. Yeah, now or never. Anyway, on the bright side, though, we got our random dungeon generation working. So that's happy. And putting it in loops is an absolute, I don't know what it is, but just absolute crazy thing that just works super well. So glad that worked. But anyway, yes. So tomorrow will be the last stream of the week. As usual, it's Sundays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So yes, tomorrow we will be rebuilding the tomb scene, where it's not going to be called the dungeon anymore. That just tells you how old this thing was, is that when I first started making this game, it was supposed to be a dungeon. And then now I'm kind of like, okay, it's going to be a tomb, because the whole idea is there is a, the bad guy. I don't want to get too specific because I'm still kind of like on the fence about some things, but yeah, the bad guy was locked in a tomb, and the tomb is cursed to always be changing to keep him locked inside, and you know, being guarded by things, and then they're turned into his minions to try and help him get out. And anyway, yada yada yada. So yeah, so way back in the beginning, it was just going to be a dungeon, because it was supposed to be, oh, the big bad created this dungeon, and it's like, no, he's locked up in here. Anyway, all of that to say, it's been a while since I created this test dungeon scene, and a lot has changed, and now we just need to rebuild it from the ground up to make it as simple and efficient as possible. And yeah, should be a good time. I hope. We'll see. Anyway, so I'm going to end it there, but we got some great stuff accomplished. We had so much fun. I had a blast, and we will pick this back up tomorrow, and hopefully we can get some great progress here in the tomb scene. I hope so. Anyway, so yes, Devious Oatmeal, you have convinced me. I will not be scared anymore. We will rebuild from the ground up. From the ashes of the old dungeon, we shall create a new tomb. A tomb of Versilius to trap the Dark Lord in there forever. But will he really be locked forever? You'll just have to find out later. I hope it goes well too. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for chatting, everyone. I really appreciate it. It's just so much fun to come on here after a long day's work or a long week's work and just chat with everyone and work on this together. So thank you all so much for being here, for chatting. Everyone on YouTube and Twitch, I really appreciate it. So hope everyone has a fantastic evening, day, afternoon, wherever you may be. Hope you have a great one, and we will see you tomorrow. Mood Phoenix Wood, they shall call him. Rising from the ashes. Yeah. Gonna be good. I'm excited. Okay, well, goodbye.